Today we're going to talk about decimal, fraction, percent. This decimal tells me 25 hundredths. And we're going to go ahead and model it first. This is your hundredths chart. So you are going to shade in 25 hundredths. This is 10, 20, and then 25. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 25 hundredths. So this is modeling 25 hundredths. Now we can write it as a fraction. 25 over 100. And when you simplify that, you divide both the top and the bottom by 25. 25 divided by 25 is 1. 100 divided by 25 is 4. And percent, you have to remember percent is always out of 100. So this is 25 hundredths, so this is 25%. 25 is shaded in, so this is 25%. Thirty-seven hundredths will be decimal 37, tenths, hundredths, and this will be 37%. And you will shade in 37 little squares. That's 10, 20, 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This would be 37. $58. 58 hundredths. That would also be decimal 58. 58 hundredths. What can you divide 58 and 100 both by? You can divide both of them by 2. 58 divided by 2 is 29. 100 divided by 2 is 50. So the simplified fraction would be 29 over 50. 58 hundredths. And you would just color 58 squares in. $10, $20, $30, $40, $50. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is 58 hundredths shaded in. Now looking at this model, go ahead and count your squares. This is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 63. So 63% is shaded in. That would be decimal 63 and 63 over 100. Okay, let's just do some basics too, from fraction to decimal. Let's do a simple one, 1/4. When you're doing fraction to decimal, let's remember this: rider, horse. The rider is always on top of the horse. At night, who goes inside? The rider goes inside the house, and the horse has to stay outside. 4 cannot go into 1, so you have to add a decimal and add a 0 and bring the decimal up. But now 4 can go into 10. It can go in 2 times. Then you just do your regular division. 2 times 4 is 8. subtract. 10 minus 8 is 2. You're going to add another 0 on and bring the 0 down. 4 can go into 20 5 times. So 1/4 is equal to decimal 25. Okay, let's try another one. How about 1/5? Here is still the same thing. Rider, horse. 1 goes in the house, 5 goes on the outside. 5 cannot go into 1, so you add your decimal, add your 0, and bring the decimal up in the quotient. Now, can 5 go into 10? Yes. 2 times 5 is 10. So 1/5 is equal to decimal 2. Let's try one that is a little bit different. 1/3. 1 divided by 3. Same rules apply. Adding your decimal, add your 0, bring your decimal up. Can 3 go into 10? 3 times. 3 times 3 is 9. 10 minus 9 is 1. Add another 0, bring this 0 down. Can 3 go into 10? Yes, 3 times. 3 times 3 is 9. What's going to happen is it's going to keep repeating. So this is a repeating decimal. You're going to put a line over the top of it for a repeating decimal. This fraction would be decimal 33. That is 33 hundredths. The fraction, the percent would be 33 and 33%. 33/10 percent. Here is some of the benchmark fractions that it's easier if you just memorize these. I'll show you. Here's an easy trick going from decimal to percent. You can remember it as Dr. Pepper. Decimal to percent. If you're going from a decimal to a percent, you have to move this way. If you're going from a percent to a decimal, you move your decimal this way. Pretty simple. Move it 2 times, 50%. Move this one 2 times, 33%. This one 2 times, 66%. You might see these two written as 33.3% and 66.6% because they have a repeating decimal over here. This bar notation at the top tells you it is a repeating decimal. This will be decimal. This will be 25%. So notice this. Half is 0.5, 5/10, 50%. 1/3 is 33 hundredths, 33%. 2/3 is 66 hundredths, 66.6%. 1/4, which we did earlier, is 25 hundredths, which is 25%. This one would be 50%. Notice this and this are equal. 1/2 is equal to 2/4. 3/4 is 75%. 1/5 is, move this decimal twice, 20%. 2/5, move this decimal twice, 40%. 3/5, 60%. 4/5 is 80%. These are your benchmark fractions. It would be easy if you would just memorize these. But think about it. 1/2 and 2/4 are equal. That will be easy to remember. 50%. 1/2 of something is 50%.